So I pretty much bought this car on the idea that it wasn't, well, for one, it was not a V8 car. I couldn't really afford a V8 car. What I want to do to this car anyways is something you probably shouldn't do to a V8 car based on today's standard and how much money they pull. I mean, granted, at the end of the day, it's your money, do what you want. But I'll get into that in a later video. But essentially, four-cylinder car, I knew it was kind of straight. It was true. I pulled up the Carfax on it. It had, I think, 4 or 5, maybe on the 5th or 6th owner, but no accident history, which is pretty clear based on the fact that it has absolutely every VIN tag. Both rear quarters, front quarters, hood, bumper, rear hatch, both doors. I don't know where it is on the rear bumper. I didn't really check for that, so maybe it had a light little kiss there. I don't know. But molding's seen better days. The trims have seen better days. A lot of things have seen better days. But at the end of the day, it is a Calypso Coupe by VIN, although it's 4-cylinder. Still is a Calypso Coupe with the VIN tags. So I thought that was pretty cool. But again, I'll divulge into my plans a little bit later. But for now, I'll just show you a little more around the car. So it's a 1993 Calypso Coupe. It's originally a 4-cylinder, 5-speed car. Has the clutch assembly, the pedal assembly, I should say, down there. You know, limp. I'm pretty sure most of the interior panels are there. Some of the other pieces are in the trunk, but the liner's sagging a little. Pretty normal. These are a little chewed up, but I mean, it's nothing too bad, honestly. It's got some crappy sun visors. Somebody like house painted the trims here. Somebody seemingly started to sand everything down, and in some areas, I mean, some more than others. As to why, I don't really know. Molding has seen better days, couple dents, couple dings, but I'll show you this next little bit that I think will impress a number of you, and is why I went for this. There it is. So one of the later months of '93. But what's really interesting about this car, not interesting, but the reason I got it would include those tags there. I come in here, tag there, quarter tag, other quarter tag. Come to this door. There it is. Where'd it go? There it is. We got another tag. If we come to the front, which is very barren, start scratching all these off. Fender tag, hood tag, fender tag, and the front bumper tag. So please mind the shakiness, I'm doing this from my phone. The previous owner had started to do some metal work to kind of clean these up. I believe these are, they're not the Scott rods. I know they're not Scott rods. I can't remember if it's LMR or one of those places. And then they made their own little trim panels for the frame rail. Still needs a lot of finishing. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with these or switch over to the Scott rod panels. Whoever did the welds was doing a pretty good job. But I guess his plan, the guy, or the gentleman before me that I purchased this off of, was going to coyote swap it, so he ripped the 4-cylinder out. He bought it running and driving, ripped that out, started putting these in just to clean it all up for the coyote. But yeah, it's pretty barren. But yeah, I mean, everything in here is pretty clean for the most part, so pretty hyped on that. Just looking at all these trims, it looks like somebody kind of used house paint on most of these. I know most of these things you could get replacement bits for. If not, they're pretty easily sandable and repairable. These ones are chipped, so probably something I'll get new if and they do exist. I didn't notice that. Somebody's got foam in the window. Peculiar. But yeah, quarters, I'm not sure if they'll be savable. We'll see. I think this house paint may have saved them enough to the point where I could build off of them. I know there's a lot of videos out there for these. I know these are very expensive, so I might try and save them regardless, or just clean them up enough to the point where I don't care and I'll run them. Yeah, it's manual windows, manual mirrors. This one's all gummed up. Yeah, interior's not too shabby. I can't remember if this is opal or titanium. I forget what the name of this gray color is. And these, I know 92, 93 are different, if I'm not mistaken. I think those all have some scratches, some cracks in them. You can kind of see that one in the bottom corner by my thumb. I think the seatbelt retractors have all been graciously hand painted. It's pretty awful, but Nothing that I don't think isn't repairable. Rear seat's perfect, of course, and it's a 4-cylinder seat, so, you know, everything to be swapped out, but interior's not too bad. I mean, I had an 86 before this. This is what I enjoy most. Well, I guess that's kind of dingy because the window's down, but closed. Can use some adjustment, but closes nicely. Gaps are, A quick thing that might help fix the gap is the fact that these pinch welds were just mangled, so I'm going to do the old pry bar just to get something started. Maybe not pry bar here, obviously I don't want to mess up the rocker, but wherever I need to or can, I'm just going to use a wooden hammer, like a 2-pound sledge or whatever I can use just to kind of get those straightened out. But I mean, just looking under this car, you could see how insanely clean it is. I have a better picture that I might throw in this video just so you could get an idea. Sitting on 10 holes, junk 4-cylinder rear end. I kind of want to do an RS, but again, that's something I'll divulge into a later video on. Yeah, this is also super cool. Has a crap ton of dead wasps and beetles in the back. So everyone was hanging out in there. That must have been the nightclub or something. I presume these are some old school rear speakers, but yeah, if you look here, you can see it looks like somebody's stucco project on these seatbelt retractors. Again, trims have seen better days. Some are loose. I know some of these clips kind of get tired. But again, I'll just go through, do the best I can. But a further divulge on the car. It's about a week ago from when I'm recording this. I was on Facebook Messenger, as I'm sure a lot of us have that issue where it's hard to stay off of that place, or Craigslist or OfferUp or whatever exists these days. But I happened to see this car pop up, and Jacksonville, Florida. Car's up in Atlanta, just south of Atlanta. So yeah, I mean, moral of the story, to make a long story short, I found the ability to, with the help of my friend, old roommate, back up in Jacksonville, to go pick this car up and just haul it back. I mean, I got there at 11 o'clock at night, took a quick nap, he drove, we got up at 2 in the morning, drove there, so we were there by 8, guy came around like 9, was able to get out of work, meet us, paperwork, title, yada yada, transfer. I grabbed the car, rolled on the trailer. I didn't get home until like 8, 9 p.m., closer to 10 maybe. But got the car home safe between borrowing a buddy's trailer, U-Haul, whole transfer, whole fiasco. Great trip overall, but just happy to have the car back. And yeah, again, I'll just divulge into some plans that I have for it in another video.